Hey there, Joseph Curtis here, and in this video, I'm going to discuss the two types of income that you can earn pretty much in the whole world, really. There's only sort of two ways that you can earn income, and one of them is linear, and the other is exponential. And it's very important to know what business you're in, know the industry, understand how you're going to get paid, whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee. Now, for an employee, it's very, very simple. You know, you do the work that your boss tells you to do, and you're going to get paid on a set day, whether it's this Friday or next Friday or the end of the month. You know exactly what you need to do, and you know exactly when you're going to get paid and what you're going to get paid. So that is the linear income. But there's some downsides to that, and the main downside is your boss dictates what you're going to get paid. There's no sort of upward mobility, so you're depending on a pay rise. You can't work harder to earn more. You cannot work smarter to earn more, because at the end of the day, your boss is going to be the one, or your company is going to be the one to tell you what you're going to get paid. Yes, sure, you can find another job, but at the end of the day, you're still going to have another boss to tell you what you're going to get paid. So there's no real sort of upward mobility for the long term. You might get like a 2% pay rise each year, or if you're lucky, a 5% pay rise each year, but you're not going to see any kind of income multiplication that you will if you're earning exponentially. So that is the linear model. And also there's no leverage. So you can't multiply your time to fit more into the day. At the end of the day, you've got 24 hours. You've probably got an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift, and you're working those 10 man hours. You can't have any kind of leverage by having other people work for you, or building any kind of system which will work for you and make your life easier. So it's literally trading time for money, and time for money. So you're giving time to your boss, and your boss is giving you back money. Now, this is what most of the world are in this linear income growth. So there's not really any sort of growth at all, except maybe a pay rise or promotion. But that's down to your boss. You can't create that yourself. So it's all dependent on other people to give you a pay rise. Whereas there is the alternative, which is the entrepreneur exponential model. And this is a different model, completely different from the employee linear model when it comes to making an income. And I think this is another reason why a lot of people come into an online business and they quit, because the online business world is an exponential model. It's an entrepreneur model, but people come into it and they're thinking linear. They're thinking, you know, I want to do this today and I want to get paid by Friday. When really, it doesn't sort of work by that. There's no sort of money for hours. So at the start, you're going to be putting in more hours than you're getting paid for. And once you've built that leverage, once you've built your brand, once you've built your following, once you know what you're doing, you've mastered certain skills, you've gone through the learning curve, because there is a learning curve, which is all this here. You know, all this space in here is the learning curve, which you're going to have to go through. Sure, if you find a mentor, they can shorten the theoreticals, they can shorten the amount of time it takes for you to understand the model, understand the theoreticals and the fundamentals. But at the end of the day, you've still got to go through that learning curve. You've still got to put it into practice. You've still got to put in the daily consistent action in order to move your earning forward and your learning forward. So you still got to be the one to move it forward. And that's another video in itself, because you've got to be the one to be disciplined. You've got to be the one to be motivated. You've got to be the one to put in the action, because you're not going to have, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not going to have a boss to tell you what to do. You're going to have to be your own boss. You're going to have to set a schedule. And in fact, we did a video the other day. I did a video the other day where I was showing the schedule that we have set. So you have to treat it like a job. You have to set certain hours, and you have to work your business every single day and be consistent. And you have to be the one to get out of bed, just like you would for a boss, and get out of bed and put in the daily action that's required. But there's a few great things with the exponential model. There is a learning curve to go through, so you're not going to come in day one and be up here earning a full-time income. That's just not going to happen, and it's completely unrealistic for you to expect that. And also, it's harder work at the start. So you're going to work harder in this period, going up this blue line. You're going to work harder than you would on this flat red line here. So you're going to be getting paid less than you would if you were an employee, and you're going to be working harder. Now, that might be a bad thing for some people. That might be something that puts you off online business, but really the benefits far outweigh the sacrifices that you make as an entrepreneur. And one of the main benefits is you can create time freedom. So you can create time freedom, you can work from home, you can fire your boss, you can quit your job, you can set your own schedule each day, you can not have a boss telling you what to do. And also you can create huge leverage. You can have systems and you can have a team working for you. You can create leverage, you can create a following, you can create a brand. And with our plan, which is a plan that teaches you how to go from zero and start that snowball effect, start this line going up here. We teach you how to get up to this level. You're going to have to go through the learning, you're going to have to put the plan into action, but you are going to get up this blue line and hit this red bar here, which is the same income that you would get from a full-time job. You are going to hit that line if you stick to the plan long enough and you work at the business consistently and you keep following the plan and you keep snowballing your results, then you're going to hit that red line. So that's one of the great things about online business, is you can create leverage. So rather than trading your time for money one time, so rather than just doing, I'm trading my time and I'm getting money, what you can do is you can trade your time and then you can get paid over and over and over again. Because just like if you think about this video that I'm putting out right now, this video is going to be out there on YouTube. It's a value machine. People are going to be, I've done the work once to do this video, but it's going to stay out there, and I'm going to have a constant flow of visitors watching this video, even when I'm not putting in the work anymore on this particular video, if that makes sense. So you can create leverage. So leverage basically means you do something once. Okay, you do something once and you get paid over and over again. So it's basically recurring income. So you might have heard the term residual income. So this is where you do something once and you get paid over and over again for it. And this is what an online business can offer you. And what is offered myself and Abigail is a residual income. So unlike a job where you only get paid when you work the hours, with an online business you can get paid over and over again for the hours that you put in originally. And then you can create that snowball effect. You can start multiplying your income and multiplying your time with the internet. I mean, there's a huge scope on the internet to grow a business. There's 7 billion people out there, and really you can reach 7 billion people with a click of a button, minus of course the countries that are not on the internet, but pretty much most of the world. And especially in the next few years, more and more people are going to be on things like Facebook and Google and YouTube. So there's huge potential. The opportunity is there. You just got to learn the skills and put in the consistent action so that you can create that leverage and basically use that gold mine. So that's one thing you can do, is you can create huge leverage with an online business. And you can also create time freedom. So like I said earlier, you can do this from home, you can build it up in your own time, You can work this alongside a job, and then once you've got it to that level where it's paying you enough, you can then quit your job and work full-time from home. And that's basically, I think I've covered it. Yeah, so you can quit the 9 to 5 rat race by staying in the game and following a mentor. So this is crucial. Follow a mentor. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Abigail. But you have to have a mentor that you can latch onto and duplicate what they're doing so that you can have the same results. You have to find a mentor. I can't stress how important that is, because so many people come into an online business or come into this industry and they don't know what they're doing and they're trying to teach themselves, and it's a case of you can't learn like that. I mean, if no one taught you to read, for example, you wouldn't be able to read. You can't teach yourself what you don't know. So you've got to find a mentor. You've got to stick at the game no matter how long it takes. Sometimes some people the learning curve will be shorter, and for some people the learning curve will be longer. It can depend on many different things, including the amount of time that you have to devote to your learning curve, and also of course the resources that you have. So if you've got the financial resources to be able to do one-on-one coaching with someone who's getting the results that you have, that's another great thing. And also your personality as well. So if you've done anything like this before, you're going to have a shorter learning curve. If you're I would like to say extroverted, because I'm an introvert and I sort of learned how to do things like videos and get the brand out there, get myself out there. But of course, if you've done any kind of speaking or videos in the past, or social media, webinars, or anything like that, or you've got a job which has a lot of speaking with other people, and not just like sitting at a computer or stacking shelves or something, then you're probably going to have a shorter learning curve. Obviously, knowing how to use a computer helps, but there's people in my team who've got very little technical skills, and they're getting results online by following our plan. So you really don't, especially not in this day and age with the tools that we have, you don't need to learn advanced things like coding. You don't need to learn programming. You don't need to learn how to build a website from scratch and create it yourself. I mean, you just don't need to learn all of that. There are tools now that we use, like the marketing system in the Endless Wealth Plan, where it literally a few clicks of a button and you can set up a web page, you can set up a capture page, you can set up a follow-up sequence for people, you can set up all these tools very, very simply. It's not difficult to do. And the last thing I want to say on this subject is you've got to remember, when I was talking about the learning curve, there is a learning curve, because if you think about it, how long does it take a doctor to become a licensed doctor? How many years of studying do they have to do? And usually they've also invested a lot of money into a lot of time, 7 to 10 years to become a doctor. And, they could have spent $200,000 to go through that education and to get their degrees and to get their qualifications that they need to be a doctor. And it's the same with most industries. You're going to have to go through some kind of education to get into a certain field, and it's the same really with the internet marketing. Although you can join very cheap, and actually our plan you can join for just $10 with the business, you still got to invest the time, you still got to put it into practice, what we teach in the plan. You still got to put in the work, you've still got to you've got to be consistent. You've got to keep pushing forward, because no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to build your business for you, but we are there to help you if you want to join the plan that we are a part of, that we created. So hope you got some good value out of that. Check out the endlesswealthplan.com. Link will be in the description below, and I'll see you on the next video. Oh, by the way, I'll also put a link to connect with me on Facebook as well. I hope I didn't talk too quickly, but I didn't want to have an hour long video. So thanks for watching, and we'll have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next video.